Okay, so in the following we will create a hand animation for the robot Kyle. For this you will need one more package here, the animation rigging, so please install this. And then we go here to the model, and if we select this here on the right hand side, you will find here the rig. The animation type is generic, and create from this model, and then you can press apply. And by this you will then get here this animation rig for the robot. So then next we will need to create the animation. So here in the animator of robot Kyle, we have already set here as the avatar the robot Kyle, and then we need to have a controller and the corresponding animations. So let's go here into, let's make here a folder with animation, and let's create here a animator controller. Let's call this robot Kyle, and then we can draw this in here. Okay, now if we select this here to create the animation, we can go here into the animation tab, and then it will already ask you to, hey, begin animating robot Kyle, create an animation clip, and then we say create, and we call this close hands, and we save this. Now we can go here to the last frame and start record, and now we can change the hand pose. So I'll zoom in here and we'll select here these bones. So we can select here the bones, and here with the shift button I'll make this rather quick and just turn those inwards, and then select the next joins, and then turn them inwards, and then we have here the last ones, and so, and then we do the same with the thumb, and so, and we do this the same thing here then on the right hand. We just select those joints, and for some reason it jumped out now. Actually we have to, for some reason it went out of the recording, so let's select this again. And yeah, this sometimes happens, so you have to be careful that you stay here in this, and okay, so we select again those, and then we go here into the rotation mode and also turn those, take the next joints, and then the fingertips. Obviously you can spend much more time on this and doing this a bit more nicely, but I think for this purpose that works. So essentially I'm putting here the fingers where they are in the closing position, and now I'm done here and I stop recording. So now I have this this animation clip, and that's also here. You find this close hands, and now we need to apply this. So we go here into the animator. And we find here already this close hands, but let's delete this base layer, and we'll add a new layer which is called grip. Let's start with left. Grip left. And we also need an avatar mask. So first of all, we want to kind of apply this with full weight, and then we need an avatar mask which says for the grip button which fingers we would like to move, and these are actually the, so to say, 3 lower fingers, so the pinky, the ring finger, and the middle finger. And for the trigger we will have then the index finger and the thumb. So we can also already create here a layer with trigger left. So we can create here animation avatar mask. So let's call this grip left. And then here on the right hand side we have here transform. We can choose here the Robot Kyle avatar and say import skeleton. And then if we expand all, so here we have all the joints of this Robot Kyle, and I'll actually deselect any of those. So, and for the grip left we need now from the middle finger to the ring finger all of those. So let's choose these, and then let's just copy this and call it trigger left. Go in here, expand all. Let's just toggle all again, and then we have here the index finger and the thumb joints. Good. Okay. Now we can apply here those. The trigger left should be then. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was in the trigger, in the grip left. And for the trigger left, we do here this avatar mask. Okay, so that's fine now. Now we have to add one empty state. And we also add here a so-called blend tree, which is then helping kind of mixing the different animations. So for the new state, actually we don't need to change anything. Make sure that you don't have any motion selected here, but we need to sorry, we need to make transitions. So click right and then make a transition to this blend tree. Can I actually make this a bit bigger, like this? And then right click on the blend tree and make a transition back. Now here there are a few checkboxes we have to set. There is no exit time and also no fixed duration, as we don't want the animations to interrupt. And for the condition, actually before we can set the conditions, we also need the parameters. So let's make a float which is called grip left, trigger left. And as we're already here, maybe I just create the other ones as well. Grip right and trigger right. So these are actually the values I'm later controlling with my buttons. These are float values because it depends on how hard you press actually the button. So let's go back to the layer, and here in this transition we say the condition is, well, when the grip left is greater than 0.1, we'll go over to this blend tree. So we activate this, and here on the way back we say the condition is grip left less than 0.1. Now on the blend tree, this needs more configuration. By double clicking, we can go here into the blend tree, and we need to say that the blend type is direct, and the motion here, it is then actually defined, is the close hands. So that's the actual animation we are using, and as a parameter we are using the grip left. So I think that's fine now. And we can, let's do the same here already for the trigger left. So we make an empty state and a blend tree. Make the transitions and then set here deselect exit time and fixed duration, and in this case we take the trigger left greater than 0.1, and on the other transition same procedure, we take the trigger left and less than 0.1. And again we double click the blend tree, and the blend type is again direct, and the motion is close hands, and it depends here on the trigger left button. Okay, so these are for the left hand animation. That's already it. Now we have to get a connection to the controllers. So let's go here into the left hand controller, and I can add here at the bottom a script which is called hand controller. That's a custom script, and I'll explain this now. So the hand controller has a few options. So the one is that it has an XR controller, and it chooses kind of which buttons I want to use, and I'll explain those enumerators in a second. And it also has a reference to the actual hand animator. So at the start I'll get the XR controller, and then in the update function I'll take the controller and do the try get feature value. Here I get the grip button from this controller and write the value into the grip value, and then we'll go into this hand script I'm explaining in a second and say, hey, set the button of the grip value with the enumerator of grip. So, and then the same thing happens for the trigger as well. So let's go into hand. So here we have this actually drives then the animation on the robot Kyle. So we have here a shorthand for these buttons. So these are the 4 buttons we are using: grip left, grip right, trigger left, trigger right. And one reason that we actually do this is we need later kind of the string names of these floats we have just created in the animator. So if we go back here in the parameters, so really these strings, grip left, trigger left, and so on, these are needed here in the script. And we have also arrays for the button target and the button current. So we just store those values here internally for all these buttons, where they are at the moment and where they should go. We have a speed value for the animation. In the start function we get the animator component, and then in the update we just call the animate hand. And the animate hand is relatively straightforward. We iterate over these 4 components or the entries of the arrays. So as we don't want to kind of do wasted animations, we first check whether the button current at this position I is the same as the button target. So if this is the same, then there's nothing new we need to do. And if we do, if this is not true, so there needs to be some kind of update, then we get a new button current. And this is just some smoothing function using the move towards. So we take the current value, the target value, and then some time and speed so that the current value actually moves slowly towards the button target. So this is just the smoothing of this button current. And then in the animator we say, hey, set float. And here we need actually the animator names. So this is kind of these parameter names I've shown you in the animator. And then we give it the value button current. And before we've seen kind of the set button. So this is kind of just the interface getting from the hand controller to the hand script, that we take this value at this enumerator button and just write this here into the button target. So the robot Kyle actually needs here then the hand script. And I think we need to do one more connection. So for the left hand controller, we want here the trigger left, the grip left is already correct, and it still needs a reference to the hands. So I think we can just drag it in like this. Yes, okay. So let's see whether that already works. Okay, so here we are in VR, and if I press the grip button, well, the lower 3 fingers are moving, and if I take the trigger button, then the index finger and the thumb is moving. Now they are kind of repeating all the time. Let's fix this, but first I would like to show you how this looks in the animator. So if I go here into the layers, grip left, so now we are in the in this empty state, and if I press the grip left, then it repeats there in blend tree, and if I let it go, then it goes back to the new state. And the same, and you can also see this parameter change here in the parameters. So if I press the grip left, then it goes to 1, and if I let it go, it goes back to 0. So we need to do one change, that here in the close hands, it actually loops the animation. So let's get rid of this and try again. Okay, now it just closes, and here again. Okay. So now we actually have to do the same thing for the right hand. We'll do this as quickly as possible. So let's do it here with the grip left and the trigger left. I'll just copy them over. So let's say grip right and trigger right. So the only thing I really have to add is here kind of new avatar mask. So essentially just choosing the parts of the bones which are changed by this animation, as the animation itself has kind of both hands changing. So we'll get rid of all of those, and now we are in the grip. So we go here from ring to middle finger to ring finger and select all of those. And we go here into the trigger right, expand all, get rid of those, and then we take here the index finger and the thumb. Okay, so we go here into the animator. We have to set up 2 new layers. Unfortunately, haven't found a good way to copy those, or actually I had a few bugs when I tried to copy them, so I will just create them here fresh. So first of all, we set here the weight and the mask, so to grip right, and here the weight and the mask to trigger right. Check that this is working. Okay, so let's go here into the grip. We'll create an empty state and the blend tree. Make the transitions, and then we'll go into the transitions, disable those. We make the conditions on the grip right being greater than 0.1, and on the other transition disable again, and grip right less than 0.1, and then we have to specify the blend tree. So we go in here, direct, and the motion is close hands. I think that's it. And we do the same thing once more for the trigger right, new state, blend tree, make the transitions, and then I configure the transitions, and this time with the trigger right being greater than 0.1, and here deselect trigger right less than 0.1, and one last step, double click on the blend tree, and we'll do direct, and the motion is close hands. And I actually realized that I haven't set this value before, so this should be trigger right. Let's go in here. Yeah, here you see this shouldn't be blend, but grip right. This is actually, yeah, for the rest this is set properly. And now we only need to connect this to the controller, so let's go to the right hand controller and add a hand controller script here. We have to choose here the trigger right and the grip right, and also the hand needs to be set here. The XR controller comes automatically as this is a component. Well, let's see whether that works. Now here we are in VR, and the left hand still works and the right hand also works. Now this could be certainly a bit more snappy in movement, so let's see whether we can. So one option would be to make the smoothing quicker, so we can add to the speed. I don't know, it's 10 times, this is good. Okay, so that's only true for how the hand closes, opens, and for adjusting the speed of the animation actually playing, we have to go into the animator. This is the and make the blend tree speed. Let's put this to 10. Let's play this again just for the grip left. Yeah. No, that's much faster now. Okay, let's do this for the rest. Blend tree 10. Trim, and once more. Okay, let's start again. Okay, so now we have hand animation for both hands.